What's up, everyone? Welcome back to our channel. I am Mitch.
I'm Destiny.
And today we are going to be talking about, should you marry your first love?
Yeah, your first significant relationship, partner. We're kind of going to go into our past relationships, what led us here.
Yep.
If you guys are new here, Mitch and I are engaged.
Yep.
We've been engaged for almost a year now. We've been together for almost 6 years now. And I would say that Mitch is my first serious relationship partner, pretty much my first everything. So, am I yours?
And yes. So I've had other relationships other than Destiny. Mm-hmm. And she's only had maybe one, maybe two.
Yeah.
And I've had others, but I've never been in love before Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
So. Mm-hmm.
Oh, heavens. Oh, heavens. So we're kind of just going to be having a conversation, kind of like podcast style. So let us know in the comments if you guys like this format of video. We're literally just going to be bouncing off of each other. I have a few questions I want to ask Mitch, vice versa. So this should be a fun conversation. Let's just get into the video.
I can kind of see what a lot of people would say, that on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier if you could just marry your first love, right?
Yeah.
But some people who might say that it's bad to marry your first love. It's like you should get your heart broken once.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Some people say there's 3 types of partners you'll have in your life. The first one is puppy love.
Yeah.
The second one is your first love, but it was toxic.
Yeah.
And then your third one is the person that you're meant to be with, and it's real, true, good love.
I think that's more just general.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff, because I've had my heart broken, but not by someone I loved. You know what I mean? I've been cheated on, and stuff like that. At a really young age too.
Yeah.
So it's just it just seems meaningless. But you can get your heart broken by someone that you haven't loved and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you should go through a heartbreak. Maybe that is good.
Mm-hmm.
Probably is, just so that you can be a little bit more.
Just so you know.
Picky and you know.
Yep. So you know what you do and you don't want. So how many relationships have you had before me? I would say that lasted longer than a couple months.
Well, lasted longer than a couple months? No.
Really?
I've never had a relationship last longer than, I think it's somewhere around 2 months. That was the longest one, and that was in 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And
do we even count that? I don't know.
No, I don't. But all my relationships they ended as quick as they started, and just never lasted. I think girls probably saw something in me that I wasn't, right? Because I kind of had a bad boy attitude, in many I was, and I kind of was, in many respects. But when you got to know me, I wasn't a bad. I wasn't a typical dude like that. I was nice, but I just did kind of rebel type things, you know what I mean, and hung out with a crowd. And I think women saw that in me, wanted to have that cool experience, and I didn't give it to them, because I just wasn't like that. Mm-hmm. And that taught me a lot, which is why it's probably good to go through that, because that taught me a lot about myself and who I was and the women that I was attracting, and how why I didn't want to be with them. And so that taught me a lot about okay, how do I need to change to attract the right type of woman, and that just happened to be Destiny, right? I did that right before I met Destiny. And it's funny, guys, literally 2 weeks before I started hanging out with Destiny, I remember having a conversation at work. It was at work.
Oh wow!
When I was having a conversation
Wait, at Little Caesars or
no at
where we met?
Caribou.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
okay.
Caribou. And I was having a conversation. You could say with God, right? I was kind of telling myself, telling God, telling the universe that I was ready to date again, right? Because I had just spent it had been a year and a half, maybe 2 years after my last relationship at this point. And after that last one, I was I need to do so, because it was just it was a waste of time again, and it was just the wrong girl again. And I had to take some time to say, okay, when like I need to do some stuff, you know, to myself to really start attracting the right type of woman. And then I remember telling the universe, God, myself, like, okay, I'm ready. And then literally like a week later, we're hanging out at Buffalo Wild Wings. A week after that, we're like hanging out alone. You know, a week after that, we have our first kiss, and it literally like I'm telling you, it does seem like the universe just
lined everything up perfectly.
Right. And I didn't just like tell myself I'm ready. I took a year and a half to 2 years to like get myself ready. Yeah, to work on myself, you know. And, you know, a lot of people, I guess, don't see it that way. So I guess, in my opinion, it's good to have like experiences that lead you to the one, right? But if you don't need that, I needed a lot of experiences to lead me to the one. I feel like you weren't where I was at, and you needed less. You already knew what you wanted and how to attract the person.
I absolutely knew. I am a hopeless romantic, like if there ever was one. I want everything romance and just like novelty stuff. Like, I just love that kind of stuff. It fuels me. So growing up, literally I was single until I was 18. I am just a complete hopeless romantic. So growing up all my life, like I would literally write like love poems. Like that's how much I wanted to experience love. So like you said, I kind of always knew like what I wanted in a partner. I'm like, they have to be romantic, like they have to swoon me, they have to like you know, be in love with me obviously, and just like be obsessed with me and whatever. So
well, you got that out of me.
I sure did. So that's what I was looking for in a partner. Obviously other things, but I just knew what I would not settle for, basically. So
and guys, I was obsessed. Obsessed with this girl. Like, before I even like had that conversation in the back, right? We all had our like pictures up on the wall. So, and I didn't, but some of us, for our job, we worked together. If you're new here, we worked together. This is how we met. We worked with each other for a year before we actually started like hanging out with each other. And even talking.
Yeah, we didn't talk for a whole year.
Well, I talked.
Okay.
Well, that's another story. That's another story. But, you know, I remember her picture was up on the wall because it was like, hi, I'm Destiny. I blah, blah, blah. This is my favorite drink. Blah, blah.
I like sunsets. I like this,
But she had her senior picture, one of her senior pictures up there. And she just looked so good in it. And I remember just thinking, wow, she's like really good looking. Like, you know, and at this time you got like, that's actually what I was thinking at the time. I wasn't like, ooh, damn, look at this girl. Because like at the time, you have to understand, I was going through a conversion from Catholicism to Judaism. And so like, I was like very like, at the time, I was like very just like, you know, pure. you know? So like, I wasn't even trying to like lust, you know, for anyone, because like I was really trying to change my life, and I was just trying to like blank out everything like that. But I really couldn't help think like, oh my god, like this girl is really, really cute. By the way, I think you should start writing love things again.
Yeah. I always used to write them like in my notes, like in my phone, like whenever something came to me, or whenever I feel everything so intensely, like I was telling you today, I used to literally just like whip out my phone like.
I think you should do that more.
I think so too. So what were your past relationships like? Because you said you've been in multiple, but they were very short. Yeah. So like, what characteristics of the people that you dated made the relationships like not last?
I think it was mostly me. Right? Oh. See, this is the problem.
Wow. Okay.
Right? That's the problem here. Like a lot of people look back on their relationships and they look at the problems of the people they dated, and like the real moral of the story here is I had to like look at myself and say, no, I'm the problem. Yeah. These girls knew what they wanted, right? These girls wanted to party. They saw a guy that like was like, you know, exuding that, or like, you know, exemplifying that, right? Because that I did play into that for sure. Like I played into the bad boy, like character.
Why? Because you thought it would get you more girls, or
no? Because it made me feel good. Like,
yeah.
it made me feel confident. Like, you know, if that brought girls, fine, right? But like, it made me feel good. I liked to. And when I was a kid, I just liked controversy, right? I loved getting into trouble. Right? I don't know why. You know,
you were a rebel.
Right. All my friends did too, and like, we just did things that didn't make sense just to do them. You know, and so they knew what they wanted, right? I didn't know what I wanted. Right, and when I got those types of girls, I'm like, I don't like this, you know. And I don't know how many of them wanted to like ask me at the end of it, like, do you want to keep doing things? Like, you know, basically friends with benefits and stuff. And like, I was, you know, that could have been a guy's dream, you know, in those moments. And I said no every time because it just felt weird for me. So it was interesting though, because like for most of my life, I was pretty good talking to women. But if I liked the girl, I was horrible at talking. So like, it was this crazy thing where like, if I didn't care, if I was like whatever, I could like flirt and be the best at it. But if I really wanted to like, you know, get a girl, right, I couldn't speak. You know, it was.
Well, you spoke to me a lot, so.
No. That was after like that was after I kind of like balanced myself. You know what I mean? I feel like as a kid, you're like not balanced, and you're just like going through extremes, you know what I mean? And after I balanced myself, then I could talk to anyone the same way. But like as a kid, it was just like, you know, there's these extremes where you felt really confident in some situations, you know, really awkward in others. And as an adult, you just feel awkward in every situation. It balances, right?
Yeah, it does.
So it was like, I guess most of my relationships could be characterized as uncomfortable, an awkward match.
Yeah.
And that's why they didn't last.
Just not compatible.
Not compatible.
Yeah.
Yep. You know, like I said, going back to what I said before, I think it's really about where you are in life. If you meet someone and that's it, what's the problem with that? Right? Like, why give up a good thing if it's just going to send you right back to, you know, a marketplace of, you know, unsures and, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, it's like if you have a good thing, you already have it, and it's the first one. Why give it up just because it's the first one?
Well, people are like, you know, you should test the waters, like, you should do your rounds and
well,
whatever,
you know,
before you decide to settle down.
Yeah, people are usually stupid. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I just don't like, you know, when I don't really listen to people. You know what I mean? Like, I just think everyone's different. We're all different, you know. We all come from like I said. I needed a lot of testing the waters because like I was the water. So like, you know, I don't know. Like I needed to figure out what I wanted. You know what I mean? Because there were a couple of relationships that were better, and that the women were better, but I was such a POS that at the time, you know what I mean? And not really, like I was a good guy and stuff, but like I said, I drank and, you know, did some stuff, and, you know, I wasn't like the best me, right? So like in comparison, I was like not who I could be. I was not like as, you know, I wasn't the best self, right? And the people I'm thinking about, like the women I dated at that time, they were like,
sure.
Like, why are you into me? You know,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why? You know, you're a 4.0, 4.2 student. You know, like, why are you into the drunk of school? You know what I mean? Like, it was just, like, interesting. And so, like, again, no matter what the situation was, it all came back to me. You know? And so, I mean, if you need to figure yourself out before you meet your loved one and stuff, like, you gotta do it, right? It's just not gonna work out. But if you are like Destiny, just meet the one, you waited all your life for it, right?
Yeah.
Like you picked and, you know, you found the needle in the haystack, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, why change? You didn't need all that testing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
And not to say that, like, I'm perfect, because even getting into a relationship with you, I've had to do so much self-work, and I've done a lot of that through therapy, but it's just that, like, I knew what I wanted, and like you said, I found the needle in the haystack, and I never really had prior relationships. I mean, I had like a summer fling thing, but I wasn't really that into him. It was just kind of for fun, I guess. I don't want to say I was leading him on, but I kind of was leading him on. And then he went off to college, and yeah, whatever.
So a lot of the things you had to work out were like, I've never done this before. I've never like been with a person before. So that was a lot of the things that she had to work on. And I think that I was just in such a place where I knew that I had like read a lot of religious passages about like what to expect in marriage and what marriage really is, and it's not all fun and games, and you know, being with someone is work, but it's worth it, you know. And so I kind of prepared for bumpiness, you know what I mean? I wasn't looking for like a perfect something with no arguments, no relation. I was just looking for someone to spend my life with, you know. And so I think that's why we've worked out so well. She was looking for, you know, someone who could,
and Prince Charming.
You're Prince Charming, someone who could, you know, appreciate you and whatever. And I was looking for someone who could, you know, commit to a building a life together, you know, and we found that in each other. So I think that's why it's worked so successfully.
Before we talk about our final answer or opinions on, you know, if you should marry your first series partner, what do you think about, because culturally relationships are different, you know what I mean? Like specifically in the U.S., you know, Mormon culture and stuff like that, where they marry very young, you know what I mean? Like they're usually looking for their partner around like 18 or 19 and getting married around then. Like, do you think that's like, whoa, like that's too quick? Or is that like, do what you want? Well, obviously do what you want. I don't care. But 18, if I got married at 18, oh my God. Like I can't even imagine myself having gotten married at 18. That's crazy. Yeah.
It may seem crazy to other people, but if it works for them and they're for it, right? As long as you're not like beholding someone to it, you know, out of their wishes, which probably happens. It happens a lot, you know. You know, I would say unless there are signs that it's a bad tradition, you know what I mean? Then it's like, all right, you know, you can still get divorced in America. It's just a little harder, you know, based on like cultural stuff, like what your family might think and all that stuff. But you can still do it. So I would say unless there are like really big signs that it's a bad thing, right? Like, that's probably okay. You know, they only get one, and I'm sure there are plenty of really nice Mormon families out there.
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
And they're very successful and have great lives and whatnot. But just like anyone, there are probably a lot of crappy ones too.
Yeah, it's just a lot of the conversation on social media right now is around
there's like a
Mormonism.
Conversation.
Yes, there's a lot of conversation, especially and mostly on TikTok, about Mormon culture and what I just brought up, like getting married so super young and having tons of kids, and you know, it's just starting your life that early without like priorly dating X amount of people and like knowing what you want, being so young, like, oh, you don't know what you want, or the grass is greener on the other side after you've been married for 5 years and have 2 kids and you're only 22 years old, you know what I mean?
You know, I would be interested to see the data on you know, like just on like pure metrics of success, right? And and like I know success is like, you know, subjective and stuff, but like if you just take like how many kids in these families, you know, Mormon families who did that versus the people who tested the waters and dated around, you know, whose families are actually succeeding more, you know, in like income and stuff like that. And you know, I wouldn't be surprised if the Mormon way was actually better than just like kind of doing whatever you want and stuff like, which is fine. That's what we did, right? But like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if the Mormon way actually produced better results than the way that everyone else seems to go. You know what I mean? What do you think?
I guess I don't know. I just think it's interesting to hear people talk about it. I mean, I follow so many Mormon influencers and YouTubers, so like I'm kind of used to seeing it, so it's not like so crazy to me, but I don't know. I personally could not see myself getting married that young, but yeah. I do agree that like, you know, good things can come from structure and familiarity and stuff like that. So overall, I don't know. Should you marry your first significant partner?
You know, if you can build a life with them, if you can see a future with them, if you're on the same page, right? Like, why not?
Yep, it's very individual to each couple. Yep. So, I don't know. I guess we would say also yes, because we're getting married to each other. We're each other's first significant partner.
Right.
So we hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let us know in the comments below what you think. Do you think you should marry your first significant partner? Have any of you married your first significant partner? We would love to know. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up, and we'll see you guys in our next video.
Peace out, guys.
Bye.